been a while since we talked about Nvidia, and there are a couple of things setting up right now as we head into earnings that I want to bring to your attention. One of them, unfortunately, is a little bearish, and the other one, short term, is going to be bullish. Now, the first thing we need to do is zoom out to a weekly chart. And if we look at the overall price action for Nvidia, we know that this has been bullish for a very long time. The way that we can dictate that trend is just by marking off all of the recent lows and realizing that all of these recent lows are obviously making higher lows, which is a sign of a bullish or an uptrend. The next thing that we look at is the buy-sell pressure. This is indicated at the bottom of your screen by an indicator called the BX Trender. This is an indicator that's free on TradingView. However, I do use proprietary settings that we've created. So if you want to learn those settings, take our Elite Traders Playbook, which is a completely free course. The link will be in the description. It'll show you how to set this up within 20 minutes. Essentially, this indicator is a mix of an RSI and a MACD. The MACD is represented by this green and red line, while the RSI is represented by these histograms behind you. We want to see the histogram go from lower lows to higher lows, which should be indicated right here on the 22nd of April. From there, we want to see this SMA switch to green, which would have happened here on the 6th of May. And what we want to do is play a long position from there until the BX Trender makes a lower high. You'll see that if we did take a trade from there, we would have entered and held this position for 41 days, making a 42% profit. Now, this indicator, it shows buying pressure like we just said, but it will also show you selling pressure in areas for potential short opportunities. Now, I'm not somebody who normally shorts a stock. In these types of setups, I will normally hold off and wait for the stock to pull back. That's why we called the top back in June on X, because we saw that money was being pulled out. You'll notice that last time we saw a lower high on the BX Trender followed by a red SMA, price sold off from high to low 30%, but we would have ended up making a 20% move. The time before that, you can see back here in March, price pushed up about 5% and then eventually ended up pulling back 17%. So I'm not expecting price to break down through a trend. Now, I still think that Nvidia is going to hit 150 by the end of this year. But what I'm expecting now with lower highs on the BX Trender and now the SMA turning red is that Nvidia over the next couple of weeks could potentially pull back down to maybe 125 or 120. Now, where do we get those support numbers from? Well, if you're somebody who uses a Fibonacci, you could basically go from most recent swing low to most recent swing high, and you'll notice that the golden zone is sitting right there. We have a free smart money course that I highly recommend you take. You'll learn how to draw Fibonacci's like a professional within 30 minutes. The link to that course is also in the description. But what I'm really looking for is to run the market bias. So the market bias is also another indicator that we teach for free. And this indicator shows where our areas of support or potential buying pressure might be setting up. You'll notice that last time when we made this lower high, price pulled back 33%. Where did it bounce? Off of the market bias. So there's a very high chance that if price holds here and rejects, worst case, we will sell off to 124, which is anywhere between 8, 10, and worst case 15%. And I do believe that from that point, there's a very high chance that Nvidia will bounce off of 120 and 116 and move its way back up to 150, maybe the end of 2024, early 2025. Now, that's bearish, but in the short term, there is something bullish that is currently happening, and I was going to take a position, but I didn't simply because of that bigger weekly structure that's happening. You'll see that on the daily, price has pulled back into the market bias and it has bounced. The BX Trender has made lower highs and we confirmed a buy today. So it looks like we might see Nvidia move in the next couple of days back up to 140 and 142 before a potential rejection once again. I hope this video helped. If you want to get access to all of my trading indicators and courses, the links to all of them will be free and in the description.